But I want to talk about this Wendy Williams thing because I think it's important to note there are some questions. One, it's incredibly sad. No matter what you feel about Wendy, it's incredibly sad. Two, again, I think we talked about this before. There are two schools of thoughts in regards to this docu-series. One, the conservatorship is up for review allegedly this year, and this docu-series, the reason why her family pushed for it and allowed her to be seen in this unfavorable light is because they wanted to show that whatever the guardians, the conservators were doing to help, it's not helping. That Wendy is better with her family, she's healthier, all of these other things. The other school of thought is that they are just taking advantage of her, they are pushing her, and they just want to work her down. There's a lot of questions, a lot of questions, and I won't even be able to get to all of them probably because there's so many. First of all, Kevin Hunter, Wendy's ex-husband, he came out with a tweet and delete on his Instagram story and said, okay, so everyone heard F. Kevin through the docu-series. No problem. The show took precedence over everything, including family. What I guess they left out was that while she was in Florida getting recovery 3 years ago, there were the secret calls her sister would set up with Debmar Mercury, Mort, and Ira, which has something to do with the production of her show, with false pretense that she would be getting her show back, that there was a lie and broke more than anything. They only were trying to get her there to satisfy an insurance claim so they could obviously replace the losses and the money that they were stealing, 5 to 15 million he is accusing them of stealing from Wendy during this time when she has been ill. They wanted to control their sister and were trying to get the ultimate control for herself. Kevin is saying Wendy's sister was trying to get the control for herself and to be her medical proxy. And at the time, her sister's naiveness allowed her to only be played. And once she got back to New York, they kicked her sister out and Wendy began to spiral. While it is true, Wendy was doing better when she was in Florida. But I don't know. I have a hard time believing anything he said. The thing that is very confusing about the situation is though he was taking advantage of her, he also seemed to be protecting her and taking care of her. But was it just to keep the money going? Wanda, which is Wendy's sister, did say that she was willing to step up and be Wendy's guardian, but then the court abruptly appointed someone different. Now, here's the thing. Wendy's son, right, was her power of attorney. And I know that Wells Fargo flagged some of his expenses. I mean, $100,000 in a year on Uber Eats is crazy to me. But, whatever. That's what he did. His rent was $80,000. And allegedly, he put these charges, some say it was on an Amex and not directly linked to her account. Not sure which way it went out. But what I would be curious to know is, was the same amount of money being spent on him before Wendy got sick? Because that would kind of give you an idea, right? Whether or not it was egregious and if they just stepped in and took advantage. Also, I understand the concept in theory of a professional guardian, but I don't understand how a bank can have that much control, especially when you're talking about your health and recovery. And the third point to that I don't understand is, why isn't her family sued them? Or why aren't we in court behind any of this if they feel that there's that wrong? I still feel like as much as we know now, there is a huge piece to the puzzle that we are missing. And I don't know if we'll ever really get those answers. The chat is flowing. Yeah. Forensic accountant says Gil stopped hearing famously saying, down some dead end streets. There ain't no turning back. Um, Listen, I did look up alcohol induced dementia, and it can possibly be reversible, but you need to catch it early. You need to completely abstain from alcohol and change your diet and whatever. And Wendy may have been on the path for that. I'm not sure if it's too late for that now. But there were things that caused concern, like when they went to dinner. Why is anyone ordering wine if you know your mom, your aunt is an addict? Is that the best environment for her? Not really sure, but I don't think so. So I just pray for Wendy. One, pray that there's resolution to the case. The line that she says, and the thing that always hit me was when she was like, if it could happen to me, it could happen to you. And very much so. What happens if you don't already have that type of thing laid out as far as your health? Who takes control? What happens if those things switch up? It's all very, very confusing. Forensic accountant says Wanda loves her sister unconditionally, unlike someone we know. Ooh. Urban Spinster says Wells Fargo is predatory themselves. Hate them and B of A. Use a credit union. Shout out to that. Pretty Brown Mimi says Kevin is so trifling. He's a cheater. Sharina left him. He's got to get a legit job. That's it. Wendy had a team who cared about her. Artie, Skeletor, Taryn, Nicole, Trevor. Kevin made sure he ran them all off because of control. And that's the thing. Like, you know, it's a lot there. Someone mentioned Wendy's, it was forensic accountant, Wendy's conversation with Whitney Houston about addiction and being condescending towards Whitney, but one addict knows another. Maybe it was a case of that. Don't know, but I would think something is up with that. Um, Urban Spinster also says, Will, although suspect, seemed to always make sure there was no liquor around when they were out, talking to wait staff, etc. Will, I think that was her new manager. Listen, it's a sad situation and there's a lot to sort out. And even with all we saw, and I mean, seeing Wendy without her wig, we know Wendy would never really want the people to see her like that. I do hope that there's a bigger play here for them releasing this and we just don't understand. But I also think that there is something very big as far as a missing piece to this puzzle that we still haven't uncovered and all that was revealed and all the painful stuff that we had to go through in watching that. At least it was painful for me. I felt very sorry for Wendy.